evening, Ocean. You caught me by surprise. Is it time for your story? I suppose it is. Okay, let's begin. Let's see what story we have for tonight. My Adventures with Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, a baby girl was born to the king and queen. They called her Aurora. Everyone loved her, except for the wicked fairy, Maleficent, who cast a spell on her. Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, Aurora would prick her finger and spindle of a spinning wheel and die. The good fairy, Merryweather, managed to change the spell so that Aurora would fall asleep rather than die. She could be awakened by a kiss of love. To protect Aurora from Maleficent, the king and queen sent her into hiding with the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. Nobody would expect the fairies to live in the forest and raise the child themselves. Ocean and her friends, Samuel and Leon, playing deep in the forest with Briar Rose and her many animal and bird friends. Briar Rose was always happy and dreaming of the day when she would meet a handsome prince and fall in love. Today was a special birthday. It was the 18th of January, Briar Rose's 16th birthday and Ocean's birthday. They were all having such fun. The animals were dressed up and were pretending to be the handsome stranger in Briar Rose's dreams. Suddenly, a handsome stranger did come along, and he joined Briar Rose in a beautiful song. It seemed to Ocean that they were falling in love as they danced and sang. Briar Rose invited the young man to the cottage for dinner that evening. Soon it was time to go, and she and her friends went back to the cottage to tell the fairies. They had always warned her not to talk to strangers, but this man wasn't a stranger. He was the man of her dreams. Flora, Fauna and Merryweather were very upset. The time had come to tell her the truth. They told Briar Rose that her real name was Aurora, and that she was a princess. They also told her that she was to return to the castle and marry the son of King Hubert. This would unite their kingdoms. "But I don't want to marry someone I've never met before, even if he is a prince," cried Aurora. "I love the man I met in the forest." "You can never see him again," said Fauna sadly. "Tonight we must return to the castle to meet your father, King Stephen." Samuel and Leon had to go home, but Ocean was allowed to go with Aurora and the fairies. "I'm so glad you're with me, Ocean," Aurora said, as they walked through the forest. "It's exciting being a princess, but I don't want to marry King Hubert's son. I've never even met him." "Perhaps he's very nice," said Ocean, "and it will be fun living in a castle." Afraid of being discovered by Maleficent before sundown, the fairies smuggled Aurora into the castle. She sat in her new bedroom, thinking about the handsome stranger she'd met in the forest. He would go to the cottage and find no one there. Then she thought about how wonderful it was to have a mother and father. They had lived without her for all these years so that she would be safe from Maleficent. A strange green light appeared in her room. Aurora fell under its spell. She followed the light up a staircase and into a dark room, where there was a magic spinning wheel. Aurora touched the spindle, and instantly she fell asleep. Maleficent was triumphant. Her spell had worked. Ocean was tired after the long walk, and had fallen asleep on Aurora's bed. When she woke up and found Aurora gone, she felt very scared. Suddenly, Merryweather flew into the room. "Aurora has pricked her finger and fallen asleep," she cried. "Everyone else in the land will go to sleep too until Aurora is awakened." "How can she wake up?" wondered Ocean. "Only true love's kiss can do it," said Merryweather. "Then we should find the man in the forest," said Ocean. "I'm sure he loves Aurora." Just then, Flora came in. "I overheard King Stephen saying that Prince Philip is insisting on marrying a peasant girl. Could it be that he's the young man from the forest?" "Quick, we must go back to the cottage to find him," cried Flora. When they arrived, they discovered that he wasn't there. Maleficent had captured him and taunted him with the news that only he could awaken Aurora with a kiss. They raced to the Forbidden Mountain where Maleficent lived. They crept down to the dungeon, and Flora, Fauna and Merryweather freed Philip. "I must go and save her," he cried. Flora conjured up the sword of truth, the shield of virtue, so that Philip could fight Maleficent and the powers of evil. Philip mounted his horse and headed for the castle where his beautiful Aurora lay sleeping. The good fairies flew after him. Flora and Fauna held Ocean's hand, and she flew too. High over the forest they went. It was the most exciting thing she had ever done. Bravely, Philip fought Maleficent. She turned herself into an evil dragon and blasted him with red-hot flames. With the help of the fairy's magic, he hurled the sword of truth at the dragon and cut her down. Philip ran through the gates of the castle and entered the chamber where Aurora lay sleeping. He bent to kiss her and watched her open her eyes. The whole kingdom woke up. Prince Philip and Aurora came down the stairs, and Aurora ran into the arms of her parents, reunited at last. The celebrations began. Hundreds of guests from all over the kingdom arrived to see the happy couple marry. King Stephen and King Hubert toasted the royal couple who had met once upon a dream. The end.